Welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Aquarius. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Know that I also like to look at the shadows on this channel. So we look at everything and then we also look at the shadows. All right. Now, if you're interested in entering into winning a free reading with me, because this reading resonated with you so much, you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always how I like to start my readings out. Like spirit kind of tells me what the underlying energy that is making your person do what they do, making you do what you do, what's influencing everything. All right. Release fear and ancestral karma. So you're going to write that word in your comment bar. You'll know if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, we'll correspond a little bit on YouTube, but you'll essentially have to reach out to me through my email so I would be able to send you the link the day that we decide, the day before or the day of that we decide to do your reading. This way you can find it. A lot of times when I would post it on YouTube, people couldn't find it. So it's just easier. All right. Now I feel as if you are connected to a soulmate, and I don't know whether it's a past life karmic mate or a soulmate twin flame yet. Both of these type of relationships there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of pull towards it. But because it's release fear and ancestral karma, it means that you both have inherited certain behaviorisms and habits that are blocking you from having good relationships, number one. But number two, that they were inherited. So codependency, growing up in a codependent like atmosphere where your mom and dad were codependent, or your caregivers were codependent. So you saw a real unequal energy. So one person completely overpower the other person. One person dominated the other person. One person didn't have the emotional bandwidth to be there for you because they couldn't deal with the partner that they chose to be with. And that partner didn't make you feel safe, didn't make your parent feel safe, just dominated the energy in the environment. So the first, memory of a relationship is a toxic one. One, again, where there's screaming, when there's problems, you felt the stress, that both parties didn't know how to handle stress. One person had too much anxiety and the other person checked out. The other person drank or did drugs or did something that they weren't there. They were there, but they weren't there. So the unequal energy, again, the paradox of personalities, that one person detached, one person overly emotional. And the relationship was pretty much ran by the person that was overly emotional. And this scared you as a child. And I feel like you and your person grew up in a very similar environment. So you inherited behaviorisms that, like I said, prevent you from having not just good relationships, but feeling good about yourself. Because whenever we have fear, the fear essentially means that we don't trust ourselves. We don't feel that we can have certain things in our life because we've never witnessed it, we've never seen it, we've never been able to experience it. And that's because we've lived from that limited perception. And this is what I feel like you and your person are like, again, have that same spiritual lesson. Might have needed to learn different spiritual lessons and have different spiritual blocks because of that, which actually makes your relationship a twin flame, soulmate relationship, because where you're blocked, they're not, and vice versa. So it seems like this person's your other half. They, again, are not your other half because we're a whole person, but they bring out your gifts. They complement you because, again, they have what I just said. You both thrive in polar opposite ways, and your approach to life is completely different, but they seem like your other half. So this is the underlining energy. So there is also a sense that there was a runner and a chaser in the beginning. So like your person ran from you, I feel like afraid of commitment, and you were that person that was like, I got emotional, but I didn't show my emotions, but it affected me, and it affected me where I was depressed, and where this person didn't seem like they cared at all. Now I'm feeling like you seem as if you don't care at all, and that this person feels depressed. So again, there's this different like paradox of energy that is twin flame energy of a runner, chaser, and then roles reverse. Okay, so we're going to take a peek and actually look at what the hidden truths are. See, release fear in ancestral karma is huge because it's inheriting sabotaging behaviorisms from family and ancestors, you know, not just your immediate family, but all of your ancestors. Um, a lot of times we don't even know like how much it's affecting us, but it really affects us on every single level. On a physical level, it'll affect us because we're living in from a place of survival, anxiety. So it means that we don't feel so comfortable in our own skin when we're in a relationship. That's number one, because we have trust issues. And then um, there's there's all this inherited stuff. So if your parents grew up in a that went through a war, let's just say, you're inheriting whatever happened collectively in their environment and how they dealt with each other during that time. And we know that, again, during certain time periods there were depressions, there was a lack of money. So that's also a part of it. Like it's not just clearing the fear from being afraid to be in a relationship, a real intimate relationship is actually fear that we hold within ourselves that we wouldn't dare look at or even know how to look at unless spirit brought us a person into our life. So it's huge. That's how we know it's a soulmate twin flame relationship because we wouldn't want to do this. I couldn't let you get close to me. So in the beginning, this person, again, was the runner. They didn't want you to get close to them because, again, the relationship was so intense. It seemed so perfect. Then you were going to see, oh, they're not perfect. That's number one. Number two, they don't like who they are on certain things. Again, they feel inadequate. They grew up in an environment that never let them find who they are. That's number one. Number two, they've only had bad relationships. Number three, they've formed habits and that are sabotaging. So I feel like they either overdrink or smoke, do something to deal with, again, the detachment. Because when we need to release fear and ancestral karma, it means that we grew up in an environment that didn't make us feel safe. And in order to compensate for that, we have to form these habits that are sabotaging. They helped us survive at that time, but they are no longer serving. So this person knew that about you. I don't think that they know about whatever habits and behaviorisms you have, again, because this person's only thinking about themselves. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. So there's still so much passion, and they wish that they could go back in time and deal with things differently, but they realize that they just reacted I can't stop thinking about you. It's again a little bit obsessive now, not uncommon. Like I said, they were the runner, now they're the chaser, right? So, and there was in their mind all the time, wishing. They see, I think that this person thought that they could shut it off at any time. And what they see is that they can't. I am becoming a better person. So again, not common for a soulmate twin flame relationship for the person to, again, become a better person. Because when we find somebody that we actually do have unconditional love for, it forces us to change. It forces us because we want to be with that person. I shouldn't say that nothing forces us, but if we know that we have a better chance of being with the person that we want by, becoming more mindful, then we're going to do it. You deserve better than me. I wish I could take it back. So like I said, they're in a place of reflecting. That's why they're going to become the chaser. They're becoming the chaser because they're like that. But there is a feeling of their low self-esteem. See, soulmate twin flames make us step into the best version of ourselves by becoming that divine counterpart. And so this person still has fear. It's not like they don't, but love overrides fear. It's like they again are a bit holding themselves back a little bit because of that, but inevitably the remorse, I believe, begins to eat away at them because they're like, I really didn't treat you right because of relationships. I don't really trust relationships, and now like I still have feelings for you. I can see myself with you in the future. So in their mind, they're actually already in a relationship with you. Let's look and see if there's deeper message for the type of relationship. Our love is eternal. It exists in every dimension and cannot be lost. Past life soulmate relationship. It's again, transcends all time and space. It's like you feel like home to this person. They feel like they could be with you. They can see themselves with you in the future. But I feel like in the beginning that they couldn't. I feel like the depth of the connection was a little bit too much for them. It made them overstimulated. They thought that you were going to approach the relationship like everybody else does. And the thing is, this person is normally passion driven, where it goes from real hot to real cold, real fast. So they don't trust themselves in relationships at all. I'm trying to understand how my thoughts create my reality. I know I need to stay positive. Are you? It's again, this person's making them look at everything from a spiritual perspective, how they create their own reality, that they're in charge of that. These feelings overwhelm me and I'm afraid. Sometimes I run away from it because of it. Again, soulmate twin flame relationship, the runner and the chaser. So even though they may not run from it, it's like when it feels so real to them, they just kind of like block out. Because remember, soulmate twin flame, it makes us essentially go deep into ourselves, makes us look at ourselves. And that's what happened here. This person is becoming a better person, but there's still all this passion and this unconditional love. And it's almost like, you know me, and I know you, even though I don't even know you. It's like there's this familiarity that's so scary, and it's like they're not used to anything like it before. It's too many. They're not used to anything like it. But we knew that there was a runner and a chaser. So even though they, like I said, they may not be physically running, sometimes they still, again, don't accept it or surrender to it, I should say. They accepted it, they don't surrender to it. I wish you could see that we are mirroring each other right now, which soulmate twin flame relationships do, especially if it's about releasing fear and ancestral karma. Like I said, you have the same wounds. They're not expressed out the same way. You don't have the same gifts. And that's a lot of times how the relationship of a soulmate twin flame really is. It's like you understand this person because you grew up in the same type of environment or the same type of scenarios, I should say, that made you both feel the same exact ways, but not willing to look at those things because those things are painful and we detach from them. And then what happens is that that energy becomes so deep and buried within the subconscious mind. We're no longer aware of it. However, it plays out within our behaviorisms. It plays out within the relationship, which is what we see here. But the one thing is the unconditional love that can't be denied. That is what makes both parties look at each other and say, why is this person triggering the shit out of me? Why is this person like making me feel a certain way, uncomfortable, but I have so much love for them and I can't walk away from them. Like if I didn't have the passion, it would be easy. I could say, screw you. You made me feel this way. I tried to get away from this energy my entire life, and now I'm back in this energy. So no one volunteers to go into their womb. Is that the universe conspires to bring us our person, to make us look at it. I feel the chemistry between us. We need to trust that the energy we share will bring us back together again. That soulmate twin flame relationship where it's like, will you accept me after the fact that I ran from you and didn't give to you? But now I have feelings for you. It's like, or I always had feelings for you, but now I'm ready to really surrender. Will you? My fear is that you won't, because that's what I saw growing up, that the relationships were never actually talked about. There was no communication, and it took a long time for forgiveness, a long time for forgiveness. So I don't know whether I can experience that. I don't know whether I can be forgiven. I don't know whether I'm good enough for you. Again, feeling of lack, where unconditional love is the only thing that can heal that. Union is an energy, not a physical construct. Even when we aren't together, I feel our union. This person again feels it's that type of relationship. They're just not, may not call it a twin flame soulmate relationship. It's like, but they know. And take that one, and we're going to take that one. I feel your energy around me, and I wonder, are you thinking of me too? And our love will manifest through the union of heart and mind. Expanding these areas allows our love to grow. Again, that soulmate twin flame relationship that transcends all time and space. And that's what I said. I said, so this person's evolving their way back to you. It doesn't really say what this person did or didn't do. Now we can take this two different ways. We're going to see first and foremost, why did you attract this person into your life? Why are they a twin flame? What soul things did you need to learn by looking at the inner child? So we're going to pull 3 things. Now, sometimes it's not a wound. Sometimes we find a gift. Or we develop a gift during that time. Okay, so the first one out is protection, and that's all about grounding. That's about let's just pull 2 more first. Protection, friendship, and gifts. So I feel like this connection First of all, that protection is when we grew up and we didn't feel safe. And we didn't feel safe because our mother and father couldn't be there for us because they were in their own trauma. I was going to say drama because, again, that's what comes with these codependent relationships that there's addiction in. So you didn't feel safe. So it was about understanding that you give yourself the protection, and you do that by, again, your gifts. Your mind can't be in two places at one time. It's, again, the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. So when you are actually embodying what you love doing, which is your gifts, they become stronger. I also see here that I always tend to take this like this is friendship card, but it's like if you see he's like this, like friendship, and he's got this. So I always interpret this as not like a positive card. I always interpret it as a negative card because friendship is supposed to be real. Like I feel like what happens is when you grow up in an environment where you saw betrayal over and over and over again, and you inherit that betrayal where you just don't trust people. It's because that's all you ever knew. And you knew that because you watched it with you and your parents, and then you actually lived it where neither parent was there for you. So what happened is both parties went into the world and they again made friends, but those friends were not, they weren't, they're selfish. They're more like, they're fair weather friends. They're not real friends. They're frenemies. And so there was always a sense of betrayal, because this is that. So to the point that you wound up making your own friend, right? Being your own friend by putting time into yourself. And when you put time into yourself, you do find your gifts. So I feel like this person kind of made you feel that way, like I have feelings for you. You should be treating me with love because this is a soulmate relationship. It's a divine connection. You didn't do that. The trauma awoken how I believe that you felt, Aquarius, and that in order to avoid continually feeling that way, you put the energy into yourself. You found your gifts, and that's where your protection comes from, like I said, because anyone can do anything to you, but you're not going to focus on that. Your mind, like I said, can't be in two places at one time. So it was an actual positive thing, also because the trauma didn't allow you when you were a child to find what your gifts were or to develop your gifts. You were too busy surviving, where I would say that your gifts have something to do with your work, where your person probably has a good job and that's not their issue. Their issue is relationships. And so we're seeing this is why they don't trust their relationships, because they tend to offer too much, give too much, and then not anything at all. So there's no balance in the relationship. So now there'll be balance in the relationship because it won't be codependent, because you again find your gifts. That's where your protection comes in play. So I always like to ask one more question, and this question is more of we ask the divine, what can we do to completely make this relationship successful? Because this person does see the type of relationship, they do want to fix it, they do want you in their life, they are sorry for playing games in the beginning. What if, for those of you that want to be in this relationship, what would be the energy that the divine would tell us? Other advisory. So let's ask. Faithfulness. I commit to my mind, heart, and will. I am devoted to the needs of my soul. I trust in myself, in God, and the universe. So, believe it or not, it's about more being faithful to yourself and this person being faithful to themselves by realizing that yes, you can like be faithful to your heart by being with this person, but it's more about being committed to the things that you want within your life and putting your will towards that, because this is already a divine union. This person has no control. They didn't want to be in the relationship. They ran from you. Now they're again wanting to chase you because it's like that's they didn't, they never foresaw that they were going to have feelings, but now they have feelings. So, or they always had feelings, they just thought that you were going to chase them or undervalued the connection, whatever it is. Now they see. So that was the help of the divine. Because when it's a soulmate twin flame relationship, you really can't break love. You're learning what unconditional love is. But that's why there's one that's a runner and then one's a chaser, and you switch sides because if there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot because this person is coming into your life to awaken every single wound that you have. And these wounds are old. Again, they're wounds that you inherited from family. So only seeing through their relationships. So it's more about, again, doing for you and understanding that this is already a divine relationship. The universe brought you two together. And if you have love for each other, but you make sure that you love yourself and you treat yourself right and you give yourself, you'll be able to be a good partner to this person and vice versa. The relationship will um, go by itself because there's love there. It's about not losing yourself in the relationship and vice versa. So I'm going to leave that there. If you resonated with this message, Aquarius, let me know by writing the words release fear and ancestral karma in your comment bar. I'll talk to you all soon.